A prominent Valley doctor hailed as a healthcare hero, but now his companies are in bankruptcy and the Department of Justice is accusing them of unnecessarily admitting patients to the hospital and submitting false billing claims to Medicare.
It's an abuse of the system and it burdens everyone.
ABC 15 investigators at Crenshaw spent weeks talking to experts and looking into this doctor and his companies who the federal government says might owe them $500 million.
Named a healthcare hero finalist by the Phoenix Business Journal in 2021.
Introducing Nima Ghadimi.
Dr. Nima Ghadimi founded Scottsdale Physicians Group, or SPG, as well as SPG Hospice and United Telehealth. Court documents show the doctor and his family's trust owned 100% of all three companies. And from the outside, he was doing well. Ghadimi won a contract for SPG to work inside Honor Health's Shea Medical Center. And real estate and court records show Ghadimi owned this $7 million mansion in Newport Coast, California, as well as a $3 million home in Scottsdale.
The information is readily available.
But behind the scenes, Ghadimi's companies were insolvent as early as December 2016, according to the bankruptcy trustee now running the companies. That trustee also says in court filings that in the years that followed, Ghadimi fraudulently transferred millions from the companies to his personal accounts. Right now, there are 18 financial claims filed against SPG. The largest is from the DOJ for $589 million. Most of that $500 million is the result of added penalties and damages. But the feds say they're investigating at least 3 separate schemes involving Ghadimi's companies. The alleged schemes: upcoding Medicare claims, improper inpatient admissions, and wrongful obtainment of PPP loans. A Department of Justice attorney wrote SPG may have submitted more than 15,000 false claims. And their analysis revealed SPG's usage of the highest Medicare billing code was substantially higher than its peer physician groups in Arizona and nationwide.
If that is true, yes, that is a red flag.
That's how they generally hone in on what is a problem.
We asked Valley defense attorney Jim Bellinger and medical billing expert Michael Arrigo to review documents from SPG's bankruptcy. Both have been involved in complex healthcare fraud cases.
I'm sure DOJ is chasing down a lot of data right now.
Was it medically necessary? Was it a mistake?
And then how that was coded and billed to Medicare, Medicaid, or commercial insurance plans.
But it wasn't just coding. The DOJ also says SPG may have been improperly admitting patients to Honor Health Shea in order to increase its physicians' ability to bill federal healthcare programs for medically unnecessary services. And they may have received illegal kickbacks as a result of those admissions. And Arrigo says that would have impacted more than just our tax dollars, especially during the pandemic.
So there are patients who need that care, who may need that hospital bed. And if someone is in that bed on a fraudulent basis or non-medically necessary basis, resources are being consumed that should go to other patients.
Ghadimi also got 5 Paycheck Protection Program loans for his 3 companies, totaling more than $1.5 million. All of that money was forgiven. But the DOJ now says these loans would not have been forgiven had the U.S. been aware the applications contained false information related to the number of employees and that the funds were not used for the stated purpose for which it was intended. The bankruptcy trustee also alleges Ghadimi indirectly took monies from government grants and from Medicare for his own benefit, including more than $500,000 in April 2020. And in another court filing, the 3 companies in bankruptcy now say Ghadimi should be personally liable as he made all decisions and directed any conduct that formed the basis of the DOJ claim. As for Ghadimi, he's no longer running any of the companies. And we tried to reach him at his new Scottsdale home, as well as emailed, called, and texted, but we haven't heard back. Now in a court filing, Ghadimi said his companies were solvent until the trustee's scurrilous charges that he says caused the DOJ's unfounded allegations. He also said any money he transferred to personal accounts were wages and for funds invested on behalf of SPG in order to generate profits to repay loans. As for SPG, they're now operating under the direction of that bankruptcy trustee who declined to comment. But just this week, as we were finalizing this story, the trustee shared a new audit with the bankruptcy court. And those findings support the DOJ's claims. In fact, an independent consultant reviewed a sample of SPG's medical records and wrote that if the federal government were to do a full audit, it is probable that more than 90% of payments from Medicare would have to be repaid. The trustee also stated SPG will be losing its contract with Honor Health Shea at the end of June. The hospital system telling us in a statement, Honor Health understands that the government has filed a protective proof of claim in the bankruptcy proceeding. At this stage, these are just assertions, and the government's investigating to see whether its assertions are true. The government has made a request for information. We are fully cooperating with that request. Now, in the coming days, we'll have much more reporting on that new audit and the future of all three companies. I'm investigator Zach Crenshaw.